The second on point is on External Affairs Minister Jaishankar's crucial visit to Russia. Now let's take a quick look at the headlines. Delhi police files attempt to murder case against Delhi CM Rekha Gupta's attacker Rakesh Kimji, accused in police custody now. In a shocking turn of events, BJP's Harish Khurana alleges man accused of attacking Delhi CM has links to Aam Aadmi Party, shares attacker's picture with AAP leader Gopal Italia. Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan slams opposition for spreading lies over Maharashtra election data. In a disturbing incident, man mauled to death by a pit bull in Chennai, case registered against dog owner. Class 10 school students stabbed to death by class 8 boy in Ahmedabad. Angry parents, protesters ransacked school premises. Nasik faces flood-like situation as Godavari river swells, rising waters submerges temples. Authorities issue a 3-day alert and put villages along the river on high alert. Trump says US will provide air support to back a Ukraine peace deal. China's Xi makes second ever visit to Tibet as president. There was ruckus in the parliament as opposition MPs tore up copies of the Constitution Amendment Bill, swinging them on the face of Home Minister Amit Shah, who was introducing it in Lok Sabha. The centre sees the bill as a crackdown on corrupt politicians. Amid the entire pandemonium, marshals were deployed to control proceedings as opposition members raised slogans. The proposed bill states that if a Prime Minister, a Union Minister, a Chief Minister or a Minister is arrested or detained on serious criminal charges for 30 consecutive days, they must resign on the 31st day or can be removed by the Governor or CM depending upon the post in question. One of the conditions states that the offence for which they are held must be punishable by imprisonment for 5 years or more. The bill seeks to amend Article 75, 164 and 239 AA of the Constitution for providing a legal framework for removal of Prime Minister or a Union Minister or CM or a State Minister. The bills finally ended up in the Joint Parliamentary Committee. A dismissed minister, CM or PM, can be appointed again after their release from custody.
भारत के संविधान का संशोधन करने वाले विधेयक को पुनर्स्थापित करने की अनुमति दी जाए। महोदय, मैं प्रस्ताव करता हूं कि जम्मू कश्मीर पुनर्गठन अधिनियम 2019 का संशोधन करने वाले विधेयक को पुनर्स्थापित करने की अनुमति दी जाए। महोदय, मैं प्रस्ताव करता हूं कि संघ राज्य क्षेत्र शासन अधिनियम 1963 का संशोधन करने वाले विधेयक को पुनर्स्थापित करने की मंजूरी दी जाए।
There was a fiery war of words between Congress leader KC Venugopal and Home Minister Amit Shah on the bill and morality of accused ministers.
Can I ask a question to the Honorable Home Minister? When he was the Home Minister of Gujarat, he had been arrested, sir. Whether he took the morality of that point of time?
ये विषय नहीं है,
morality of that point of time?
गृह मंत्री जी,
आप मुझे सुनो जरा, मुझे सुनो,
गृह मंत्री जी,
मुझे सुनो ना, पहले बैठ जाओ,
हाँ गृह मंत्री जी।
माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, मैं रिकॉर्ड क्लियर करना चाहता हूं। मुझ पर झूठे आरोप लगाए हवाला देकर इस्तीफा भी दिया और जब तक मैं कोर्ट से निर्देश नहीं हुआ कोई संविधान को मैंने स्वीकार नहीं किया। ये क्या सिखाते हैं नैतिकता में?
So how is this a change from existing laws? What is the big change? At present, there is no constitutional provision for removal of PM, CM or ministers due to arrest or detention. In the new bill, ministers can be sacked even before they are pronounced guilty. Mandatory automatic removal after 30 days of imprisonment. Bill doesn't keep onus of resignation on convicted netas on moral grounds but creates a legal provision for it. Opposition says that sacking anyone over mere arrest even before they are proven guilty is against the constitution. They say that the legislation will be used to destabilize opposition ruled states through arbitrary arrests of ministers and chief ministers through use of probe agencies like ED.
There is a lot of action going on. You must have heard, and I'm sure all of you have heard, of the new bill that the BJP is proposing. We are going back to medieval times when the king could just remove anybody at will. There's no concept of what an elected person is. He doesn't like your face, so he tells ED, put a case, and then democratically elected person is wiped out within 30 days. This is new.
मुख्यमंत्री को हटाना है तो असेंबली में हटाते हैं। अब आप मेरे को ये बताइए कि BNSS में इतने ऐसे सेक्शंस हैं कि किसी को भी आप एक सेक्शन लगा दीजिए 5 साल के ऊपर का तो लाजमी है वो 30 दिन के अंदर या 30 अंदर BNS में ये है कि 90 डेज तक पुलिस कस्टडी ले सकती है। तो ये मेरे ख्याल से ये 1930 का गेस्टापो मूवमेंट हम भारत में देख रहे हैं।
Breaking away from the party line, Congress MP Shashi Tharoor said that the proposed bill is reasonable.
No, as far as I'm concerned, I don't know those bills well enough to give you a comment. On the face of it, it seems reasonable that anyone who does anything wrong should be liable to punishment and should not be holding a high constitutional office or a political office. I think that makes sense.
What was the need for such an amendment and how can it play out? In 2024, AAP chief Arvind Kejriwal spent 6 months in jail before being granted bail in the liquor policy case. During the 6 months, he ran the government from jail. It was only after he got bail that he stepped down. If the new bills were in place, Kejriwal would have been automatically removed as chief minister on the 31st day of his arrest. So who are the leaders who did not quit on moral grounds after being detained on serious charges? V. Senthil Balaji, former Tamil Nadu minister, jailed for money laundering for 471 days before he quit. Arvind Kejriwal, former Delhi CM, jailed for 6 months in liquor excise policy case. Satyendra Jain, former Delhi minister, jailed for 900 days for money laundering. So, this is one part. But there is also another aspect, and before I introduce my guests, this is something which Supreme Court has been saying to ED. After 5-6 years of custody, if people are acquitted, who takes responsibility? You have to act within the 4 corners of law. Prolonged incarceration amounts to virtual conviction. So the big question, is it a crackdown on corruption or the opposition? Second question, will this lead to weaponization of agencies like ED and CBI? On this issue, I am joined by Jasmine Zandawalia, spokesperson Bharatiya Janata Party, Suleiman Mohammad Khan, spokesperson Congress, Professor Anwar Pasha, spokesperson RJD, Savio Rodriguez, political analyst, KV Prasad, senior journalist. I'll straight away go to Jasmine Zandawalia, spokesperson BJP. Madam, is this a kill bill for the opposition or kill bill for the corruption?
I think it's a kill bill for the corruption, and the nation should really welcome this move because, after all, if you look at the history of corrupt politicians who have been acquitted, it's dismissal. And we have to understand, and a chief minister or a minister or a senior government representative in a constitutional post is mired in corruption, or there is a case going on against them, they do misuse their office, and nothing really happens. And for years and years, CBI and ED keeps, making downroads into the courts and all. And I think this is a really a big game changer in the politics, in the democracy of this nation. And we in the BJP are going to feel very proud of it, that we have implemented it. Because why should a chief minister who has serious allegations against him and is in custody not be removed from the office? And we are saying that he's removed from the office if he's acquitted, then the law is going to be different. But for heaven's sake, if somebody, even the Prime Minister's office is coming in the gamut of this, and it will curtail down corruption to a great extent, and we welcome this bill.
Okay.
Yes, but the opposition is not liking it because they understand what they have been doing.
Okay, so you welcome the bill. Sulaiman Mohammed Khan, is it the kill bill for the opposition, or is the kill bill for the corruption? Prime Minister is also under the ambit of this bill.
The golden principle of criminal law is that you are, presumed to be innocent until and unless you are proven guilty. This is the golden principle of criminal jurisprudence. Now, this bill has actually turned the criminal jurisprudence or the basic principle of criminal law, on its head. Now, there is a due process. An FIR is registered, then an investigation goes on. Then if the investigating officer wants to arrest, he can or she can arrest. Then if the case is made out, the charge sheet will be filed. Then the charges will be framed. And when the charges are being framed, the accused are being asked by the judge, that you want to admit your guilt, or you want to admit that you are not guilty and face trial. So generally all the accused say we are not admitting our guilt and we want to face trial. Then the case starts. Till the time he is convicted, he is innocent. Now what this bill is doing, that if you are in custody for 30 days, you are being removed like you are guilty. Even I'll try to, tell one more provision, Section 8, Subclause 3 of Representations of People's Act, which says that a person who is an MLA or an MP or an elected representative, if gets convicted and sentenced for 2 years or more, then he gets disqualified. So there is a special law for politicians, Representations of People Act, Section 8, Subsection 3, which says in cases of conviction and sentence of not less than 2 years, if someone is convicted and get a conviction of a sentence of 1 year, 11 months, 29 days, he'll not be disqualified. But once the sentence goes to 2 years, he'll be disqualified. So this bill is also in, actually contradiction and against the special law being framed for election, special election law being framed for the election processes. And otherwise also it's anti-democracy, anti-constitutional. The way ED and Election Commission and these institutions are working, it will target the opposition leaders, chief ministers and union ministers.
Okay, Professor Anwar Pasha, your opening comments, spokesperson RJD.
Keeping in view the past record of this government, the way this government has been treating the opposition parties, the way the government has been behaving with the opposition leaders, I think this is quite obvious that this bill has been brought with ulterior motive to fix the opposition parties, the opposition leaders, those who are opposed to this government. And this is also against the very principle of our federal structure of our country, because this government wants one government, one nation, one government, one leader. This BJP government believes in that. So they are going to implement it through, since they can't win the various states are there, they are they're ruled by the opposition parties. So they do not want them to be there in the scene at all. They want just one BJP to be there and no other party should exist. So they will use this bill to finish all the opposition parties, whosoever is there in the other states, they are opposed to it. And this is not, I'm not saying that there are examples. There are examples of that. We saw in Jharkhand. We saw in Delhi itself.
But in
how
Delhi,
the chief minister was put behind
Arvind
bar.
Kejriwal refused to resign.
Yeah, that's another matter. I'll talk about it. But how he was put behind bar, and not only chief minister, three more leaders, the cabinet minister, two cabinet ministers, and one Lok Sabha MP was put behind bar to destabilize the government, and the government was paralyzed for 6 months. and there was no activity from the government side because it was paralyzed because the top leaders were in the jail. So these are the tactics to teach lesson to the opposition parties to destabilize their governments in their states and I think hold control of the whole country as a dictator. So this is our main concern. That's why we are opposing this bill. That let there be a level playing field. If you are not going to control CBI, if you are not going to control ED, if you are not going to control or appoint unilaterally the election commission, let there be chief justice in the committee of the appointment of all these bodies. Then we can say that this is fair and let it go, because the autonomy of these agencies are on the state.
Okay,
people do not have trust in these agencies because these agencies are being misused. If this law is not misused, then it is fine. But we fear that this is going to be misused by the government. This is 100%. This is our concern.
Okay. KV, what is the intention? Is it because of the sort of a bitter episode that happened in Delhi that Arvind Kejriwal refused to resign? Is this a bill of fallout of that political interaction? There has to be a political reasoning behind this constitutional amendment bill. So what's your analysis?
Well, two aspects are very clear. One, of course, you have already provided the backdrop of 3 instances, 2 in Tamil Nadu, 1 in Delhi. But if I look at the 70-year history of this country, whenever a political leader has fallen under an issue or come under odium of corruption, they have resigned. Maybe, right from the days in the provisional parliament, when the finance minister had to step down following allegations of favoring a particular some party. So I think there has been a history, so much so that even if you remember several instances as late as Hawala, when the then BJP leader Mr. Advani was just named, he just said, I'm not going to be in public office. So morality is something, and everybody remembers how Mr. Lal Bahadur Shastri resigned as railway minister following a train accident. That is always cited as a high benchmark of morality in public life. So there are several instances, but of late there have been accusations that those standards have been diluted for various reasons. Political parties have already spoken about it. Where my only thing is, as a political correspondent, I have noticed, the timing of the bill at this point of time, there has very little been public debate on this particular issue. Of course, people have been talking about it. Corruption should be fought. There have been
debate of the
institutions,
parliamentarians, KV, there will be a debate. It has been sent to JPC. It has not been rushed.
Yeah, that's fine. It will be debated and discussed. That's okay. That I'm not getting into it. But the point is, public debate before the bill came to where it is. Number one, so much so that the government had to seek, the time from the speaker to fast forward this introduction. Normally, a week's time is required. The bill is circulated for members to come prepared. So, that kind of pressing hurry to push this at this point of time. Nobody says corruption should not be fought. We have created a Lokpal. We had a CBI, which is whole idea is to fight graft in public office. But show me how many numbers of politicians, per se, when I say at the top ranking politicians who have been named, have actually come under conviction.
Tell me, KV, how many cases Lokpal has scrutinized and finalized in last 10 years?
Well, I don't even remember. I'm not tracking it, so I'm not going to get into it.
Absolutely.
I'm not getting into it because we have not read. I have not read many reports of late where it talked of Lokpal having taken up high-profile cases. We remember the Anna Hazare movement. The whole idea was Lokpal, right? To fight graft in public office. The Lokpal has been created, but probably it's on complaints that they act. So I am not tracking that beyond a point because I don't see any high-profile cases having gone there.
Okay, Savio, your thoughts on it?
Well, let's understand one thing very clearly. Corruption in India is systemic. And political corruption in India is worse than systemic. It's a cesspool of systemic waste, basically. So you are going to have people wanting to talk about laws. You're going to have people talking about various different initiatives to stop corruption. Like I told a senior minister of the BJP a couple of weeks ago when I was in Delhi, that Prime Minister Modi said very clearly, na khaunga, na kisi aur ko khane dunga. But he forgot to add, nahi pilaunga bhi. किसी को पीने भी नहीं दूंगा क्योंकि क्या हो रहा है कि हर किसी राज्य में in different states there are different levels of corruption happening and they do it blatantly. And at the height of the corruption are the politicians. Now, I heard all the spokespersons and everybody is talking about it from their point of view on the good use of it and the bad use of it. The point I'm trying to understand today, with corruption being systemic, instead of a down-up approach to correcting corruption, it has to be a top-down approach to correcting corruption. And when a bill of this nature is coming in, like all bills that have powers in their hand, it is a double-edged sword. So while it might be used against the opposition, as some of them fear, it will also can be used against the BJP at a time when they may or may not be in power and they have the same impact. So the issue here is corruption. Why can we, all of us, say over the last so many years of India's independence, have we seen the end of corruption in this country? The answer is absolutely not. The RJD person himself has a leader that was in jail for corruption. We have many other leaders of the political parties here who had their leaders in jail for corruption.
Okay.
And the best part is some of them talk about bail being like acquittal of a crime.
Okay.
Bail is not an acquittal of a crime.
Okay.
Arvind Kejriwal and the others are not acquitted.
Okay. Dr. Piyush Joshi, spokesperson Aam Aadmi Party, joins me. Dr. Joshi, so there are two things here. One, opposition says it's vendetta. There is also another aspect to this whole debate, that why should a politician pay for his image, pay the price of a wrong decision of a babu in charge of the investigation. But then this drive against corruption also encompasses Prime Minister. It makes it very appealing in front of the people that the PM will go, the CM will go, the minister can go.
Right, an interesting way to take things forward.
PM will never go.
It is a little presumptuous. PM will never go. It is a little presumptuous to imagine that Prime Minister is going to be inquired upon by any of his own investigating agencies. बिल्ली के गले में घंटी कौन बांधेगा साहब? किसमें इतनी हिम्मत है? Take example of Mr. Satyendra Jain. What is the outcome in case of Satyendra Jain? This bill, what actually it does, it gives the union government and henceforth the Bharatiya Janata Party, and particularly the duo of the Prime Minister Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah, the power to finish any political opposition, in this particular case, certain leaders which they don't like, which they consider a threat. And it also proves that the Bharatiya Janata Party, and particularly Prime Minister Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah, they do not believe in the law of the land. They do not believe in the legal justice system of the country. And why? Because they think it is mandatory for them to take an action on behalf of the judiciary. भैया यदि कोई निर्दोष है तो वो साबित हो जाएगा ना judiciary में. Why rush? It is very clear. What is the case of Hemanta Biswa Sarma? No, in Louis Berger, what is happening for Hemanta Biswa Sarma? What is happening in case of Ajit Dada Pawar? What is happening in case of Digambar Kamath? When it comes to opposition leaders, all these investigating agencies develop newfound teeth and they start biting into those opposition leaders. If we can draw a simile, this shows a malified intent of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and in this particular case, the Prime Minister Modi and Shah. Savio just mentioned that the same rule applies to the BJP as well when the BJP is not in power. Let me tell you very categorically and clearly, the Prime Minister and the Home Minister are not thinking about BJP. They are thinking about only their own tenures when they bring a draconian law or a bill like that.
Okay, Jasmine, how do you respond to it that the entire opposition? I'll come to that. I'll come to you. Jasmine, please respond.
It is very sad when the opposition is only accusing the BJP that this law is being framed to victimize them. If this law was being framed to victimize them, what was the need to draw the Prime Minister's office in its gamut? And I think after 79 years of independence, we all do agree, cutting across party lines, that the corruption has gone up phenomenally, and an average man's life in this country is hell. You go to a tehsil, you go to a police station, there is a systematic system of corruption which goes up to the CM's office. So I think this is a very welcome step. This is not just for the opposition. This is going to be a law for India, for any political party. The BJP is not going to be excluded out of it. And I think we should understand that the politicians get away with it. They can do corruption. How many people, how many top politicians in the last four decades being sentenced, you tell me, whether it was the BJP or the Congress or any political party for that matter. And I rest my case on that.
Okay, Suleiman.
Only 2-3 short points, very short. One, what the BJP and Savio, both of them were saying that it's about corruption. What has happened to the corruption of Hemanta Biswa Sarma, Mukul Roy, Suvendu Adhikari, Narayan Rane? How magically the investigation by ED and CBI vanished as soon as they joined BJP. So the Prime Minister and the Home Minister and all the investigating agencies, ED, CBI, have to reply to that. They are naked in the public. All these corrupt people, they were shouting hoarse that they are all corrupt when they were in opposition parties like Congress or other parties. As soon as they joined BJP, they became very saaf suthra, pak saaf, bilkul dhul ke samne aa gaye. Second point, that Savio was saying that it's not about opposition. BJP will also come, become an opposition party one day. Let me tell you, Savio, the way the constitutional authorities are being undermined, demeaned, denigrated, the way election commission is doing daylight dacoity and chori of the votes and the elections, BJP will always remain in power if we don't fight this menace. The way they have been dismantling the constitution, they will never go back out of power the way the election commission has been manipulated. Take it from me.
Okay, Professor Anwar Pasha, you had been raising your hand. Professor Pasha.
It is very, very easy to talk about stopping corruption, checking corruption, punishing people who are corrupt. But I must say, just forgive me if I say that the BJP is the only party in this country today, being in the power for the last 11 years, that are protecting the corrupt people, corrupt politicians. This is the fact. BJP has become a washing machine today. Everybody knows it. It's a safe haven for the corrupt people. You be involved in corruption and you join BJP. You will become neat and clean. So this is the state of affairs. If the government is really interested to check the corruption and punish the people.
Professor Pasha, isn't this bit thick on your part to say this when your own leader went to jail on the Chara Ghotala, sir?
First, let government come clean. It is better to practice before preaching. Let the government sack all those people, take action against all the corrupt people. It will give a message. Then you will be able to stop the corruption. Just giving sermon is not going to check the corruption. Such bills are for the opposition parties. They are going to use it against the opposition. They are going to misuse it to silence the opposition. This is the fact. That's why we are against it.
Okay. Dr. Piyush? Dr. Piyush, you had raised your hand?
Yeah, I was raising my hand because, I can draw a simile between Vladimir Putin and the current Prime Minister of India.
I think that's not correct, sir.
This is.
I think that's not correct.
They are good friends, right? Putin is a good ally of India, right? Putin is a good ally, sir.
That's not correct.
Just hold on. Let me prove my point.
That's not correct. I mean to say there has to be some civility in the debate. It's not like other channels.
What is uncivil about this, sir? Did I use any unparliamentary language?
This is absolutely. You are comparing a dictator with a democratically elected prime minister. It's as simple as that.
Sir, this is going on the same
basis. It's as simple as that. Maybe this is the first time we are interacting. No, this is not freedom. That's not correct. You can criticize Narendra Modi for anything. It doesn't make a difference to me. But it has to be correct. You can't compare it with Xi Jinping or Vladimir Putin. There has to be.
The Prime Minister is not authoritarian, sir.
No. You can call him for what it is. You can call absolutely no. Dr. Piyush, wait a minute, madam, wait a minute. Madam.
You make your point.
Madam, wait a minute. No. You can call him that, but you can't compare him with Putin. They are two different things. You can call him that on my show.
I can compare him,
but you can't compare him with Putin. That's wrong.
If it makes you uncomfortable,
that's incorrect. More than wrong, that's incorrect.
The only thing is, hold on. Let me state my reasons why. Savio, just hold on. Just let me give my reasons why I believe so. First, there is this Election Commission Act of 2023 where Supreme Court Chief Justice is removed. Now you talk about removing corruption. What is happening to the Information Commission? What is happening to the accountability of Information Commission? What actions has CVC taken in last 4 or 5 years? Expanded to last 11 years. What is the Central Vigilance Commission doing in last 11 years except for registering cases through ED and CBI against the opposition leaders? You issue dozens of summons against opposition leaders. You don't even ask you don't even issue one summon against your own party leaders or those who have undergone that whole washing cycle of God knows how many crores, and then you go away. The Supreme Court has mentioned clearly that the electoral reform, the biggest so-called electoral reforms, that was of this electoral bond that the BJP brought with intense fanfare. The Supreme Court declared it unconstitutional. Who's going to take accountability to that? You have put Arvind Kejriwal behind bars on 11th statement of an accused.
Okay. But
now what is
he did not get relief from the court, sir.
The BJP is making
you have to tell the full story. See, I'm not interrupting you, and I'm allowing you to speak. I'm allowing you to speak, but he did not get any relief from the court, sir. You have to tell the other side of the story also. He didn't get any relief from the court. That is also the other side of the story, sir. Savio.
Satyendra Jain got relief from the court.
I don't know, after eons. After eons.
You destroyed his political career, no, sir?
That is after eons. For that, the court has to come in. Yes, Savio.
Yeah, it's interesting. I love when political leaders talk about corruption because it's at the end.
Savio, you also have a bit of politics in you.
Yes, so that's what I'm saying. It's across all the parties.
You also have a bit of politics.
See, the point?
Yeah?
No, please understand this, okay? Today, you have a government coming in with a law that gives the powers to deal with corruption at the highest level, which is a prime minister, the chief ministers of states, right? Now, if the government itself was corrupt, the government, in all fairness, just like the Congress and the BJP, agreed on non-disclosure of details on the fundings that were coming to them. In much the same way, BJP should not have brought this bill. But there is obviously a reason that is logical enough for them to bring it. Now, the opposition leaders are strangely saying that BJP will continue to be in power and therefore they will misuse this bill and target all their leaders. And I find that preposterous because this is a democracy. This is a democracy.
If this election commission business does not stop, if this equality of election does not stop, they will remain in power. That's what we are fighting for.
Okay.
That is what we are fighting for.
Okay, Suleiman, you wanted to say something? Come. You have to be legit. Okay, say.
Election commission does not stop this stealing for the BJP and the equality of the mandate. They will always remain in power. Nothing will happen. The constitution will be eroded. The constitutional democracy is gone.
So,
you are stealing elections. They will remain
what happened to the elections where you all won the elections?
We are fighting
No,
for that.
I have a different
What
question.
happened in the elections where you all won the elections? What happened in the elections
Suleiman,
where
I
you
have
all
a different
won?
question for you. You guys got 100 seats. You were up from 50. You got 100 seats. You made.
You could have won 150.
You could have won 150, but you could have done a better job. You didn't do the better job. You could have got so many places. You did very badly in Odisha. You did very badly in Madhya Pradesh. You did very. Wait a minute. You did very badly in Chhattisgarh. You could have done a splendid job in all these three states.
No.
But you didn't do that.
Don't generalize, please.
How many seats did you get in Odisha? How many seats did you get in Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh? These three states you would have done well. You could have been at 125, 130.
Maharashtra, Haryana, Lok Sabha elections. These are very vital. Maharashtra, 40 lakh people were added in 5 months. And in 5 years, 40 lakh people were added. Where come these 40 lakh people come from? And they are not new voters, 18, 19, 20.
This debate is not the charge of the Congress party on vote theft. This is on the issue of corruption. So when I'm saying this issue of corruption,
why don't they arrest Himanta Biswa and Narayan Rane and Suvendu Adhikari? Why don't they
tell
arrest
me
them?
one thing. Tell me one thing. Who made ED? Under whose tenure the ED was made? The current law.
And see the performance,
Mr. Chidambaram. It was made when UPA was in power, wasn't it?
90% the ED are going in acquittals. During our time, 50 to 60% leaders of opposition cases were filed. Right
Okay,
now,
let us play those graphics. No, I don't disagree with you. Let me play those graphics. It's part of our discussion. The Supreme Court has come down very heavily on ED. It's not as if that the ED has not been wrapped. So the constitutional mechanism is working. This is what Supreme Court has told ED. After 5-6 years of custody, if this happens, then who's going to pay the price? You have to act within the four corners of law. Supreme Court of India. So it's not as if the institutions in this country are not working. Prolonged incarceration amounts to virtual conviction. So where is the logic of the institutions not working?
Please don't generalize. It's not that every institution, every person in every institution is dead. They are good people, they are bad people.
That's precisely the point we are making.
Controlled and dominated. The way the institutions are controlled and dominated. And their chiefs are being sad as their slaves and puppets.
That's the point we are making.
Okay. I think the larger point will be made in the JPC, but one has to decide because it's a... I really don't think how much of the bill in the original form will be there, but going by the intention, I think most of the provisions would be retained. Closing comments from you, Jasmine? You wanted to speak?
I think the opposition has to understand that any law which is made has its pluses and its minuses, but a law is a law, and this is a very welcome law because right from the top position, right from the top politician, from the Prime Minister's office till the Chief Minister's offices, everybody will be accountable, and to curb and curtail corruption, we must come up with this law.
Don't you think that these fears are also not unfounded? Don't you think that
please? I just want to say, if we are really keen, if the government is really keen
Mr. Pasha,
to
Jasmine,
check the corruption,
my question is to Jasmine Sandhawalia. Madam, my question is very simple. Do you think that a Babu's charge on a politician, doesn't it have the potential to destroy a politician's career? One wrong move. Don't you think that it's a possibility, one wrong move and his career is destroyed?
You see, I will absolutely say that errors happen, but that margin of error will be very, very low because obviously the politician, the sitting chief minister or any top gun who is accused of serious allegations and is arrested will hire the top gun lawyers and will knock the doors of the Supreme Court or the High Court, and our courts are well within their bounds to come down heavily on this. There are institutions in this country which protect that the law should be implemented in a proper way, and there will be no scope of any error, I feel, on that scope.
Okay, you see, I've really run short of time, but what is the larger question? Will it prevent corruption? Or is it about people who have been accused of corruption and they have to demit office?
It will definitely help corrupt. It will definitely help.
I think
it will definitely help corrupt.
I think for a separate day, I think a lot of people, Jasmine, will have a lot of different views on this. Any law is as good as its intention, and the second part, when it's executed. Both needs to be on the firm ground. So thank you all of you for joining me. This was all I had on point 1. We'll look at the second on point, which is on the External Affairs Minister Jai Shankar's visit to Russia and its strategic significance, but after a short break.
Associate sponsor, Dyna Premium Beauty Soap. पहली झलक करे खूबसूरत.
Papa, let's go to Duda. Happy birthday, Duda. I love you. Go, Duda, go. I love my Duda. I love my Duda.
Skoda. Go condoms? It's over.
क्या ये डिफरेंट साइजेस में आता है?
Actually, sir, size matter नहीं करता.
तो फिर क्या मैटर करता है?
The hardness
of the condom.
Of what's inside.